Firstly, guys, I wanted to apologise for not posting last week. Unfortunately, Brisbane had a cyclone come through, which is very unusual for us, and I'm okay, but I couldn't post last week, so I do apologise for that, but I'm here now. Now, most of you have most likely heard of this hormone named cortisol, and especially if you follow me, I talk about this hormone a lot in my videos. Now, cortisol often gets a bad rap, and this is mostly when it's out of balance and causing problems for your dog. But it's also an extremely important and amazingly powerful hormone when in a balanced, healthy state. So today, let's look at the good and the bad of cortisol, how it helps and hinders your dog, and some ways to help counteract the bad. So stay tuned to learn more in today's short video. Hi there guys, it's Lyndall Pinchin, Canine Naturopath from Canine Vitality. Welcome back to my channel, it's Happy Healthy Dogs. If you're new to the channel guys, thank you for stopping by. I hope you find today's video helpful. Feel free to subscribe and don't forget to click on the bell to be notified of weekly videos. And if you're a regular, welcome back. Also, I hope you find this video of some benefit today. So cortisol, this incredible hormone. Now cortisol is a steroid hormone, a stress and a survival hormone really, that is produced in your dog's adrenal glands, which sit on top of each kidney. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we often only talk about cortisol and its negative impact, but let's first look at why this hormone is so amazing when it's in a healthy balance. Now, firstly, it's important to understand how cortisol is produced in your dog's body. Now, the hypothalamus that sits within your dog's brain plays a crucial role in regulating many different body functions. And when it comes to cortisol, the hypothalamus has the ability to detect stress or low cortisol levels, and it sends a hormone messenger through to your dog's pituitary gland, which then sends another hormone messenger down into the adrenal gland to actually tell that gland to produce and then release some cortisol hormone. Now, once cortisol levels are sufficient, the hypothalamus and the pituitary switch down these hormone messengers so that the cortisol doesn't keep being produced. Now, one of cortisol's main functions is to actually help regulate a healthy inflammatory response in the body and keep this in balance, as well as being the messenger of the stress response system, which of course is designed to really help your dog stay protected as well as balancing out stress levels. Now, in addition, cortisol will follow your dog's natural circadian rhythms in general. Now, cortisol will therefore tend to be higher in the morning, helping your dog wake up and be alert. Cortisol levels tend to decrease throughout the day, and by nighttime, cortisol will generally be at its lowest, promoting that relaxation and sleep state. Now, unlike humans, however, dogs are a little bit more adaptable to changes in daily schedules, and therefore the cortisol can shift depending on meal times, activity levels, and changes in our routines as pet owners as well. Now, cortisol helps to regulate your dog's shock response as well as their blood sugar levels, preventing the immune system from overreacting, as is the case with disease patterns like autoimmunity, and aids in the metabolism of fats, proteins, and carbohydrates, basically everything that your dog is putting into their body. Now, essentially, it helps to orchestrate the correct timing of all bodily functions, making it such an important hormone. So this naturally anti-inflammatory hormone is a powerful ally for your dog's body. But that's when everything's in balance. So what happens when things start to go out of whack? Now, this is when this amazing and anti-inflammatory hormone actually becomes somewhat of a nightmare really, and it has the capacity to become pro-inflammatory, where it will fail to control inflammation effectively. Now, what are the levels of stress that our dogs are faced with today that can lead to cortisol issues? Well, there can be chronic low levels of stress patterns such as physical pain, irritation, itching, skin issues, that type of thing. Stressful environments where the dog is lacking the right stimulation or too much stimulation, lack of basic shelter and food, such as dogs in rescue situations and so on. This can be an ongoing type of stress, and then there can be certain events that can cause more acute type stress patterns, such as the death of another pet or a family member, the breaking apart of a family, relocation, and other bigger life traumas that lead to more acute stress patterns in dogs. What this means is that dogs essentially are going to be in this anxious, nervy, or fearful state and are being constantly bathed in cortisol along with another hormone called adrenaline. Now, the implications of this are far reaching. Your dog might start to experience poor focus and concentration. There will be a chronic activation of blood sugar levels, meaning that your dog's insulin can become overwhelmed and not able to really regulate the blood sugar effectively. Now, in the long term, this can actually potentially lead to diabetes. Now, there can be disruption of your dog's gut bacteria and increases in intestinal permeability, which can lead to that leaky gut pattern, dysbiosis, and chronic systemic inflammation. Your dog's circadian rhythms, which I talked about earlier, can be really impacted by this as well, meaning that they can start to become more restless at night and not sleep well, and then be tired and lacking in energy throughout the daytime. And one, I suppose, of the biggest impacts here is that elevated cortisol levels out of balance suppress your dog's immune system response, making them more prone to infections, particularly skin conditions and urinary tract infections. And the ability to also heal from wounds and cuts, etc., is also very compromised. And for some dogs, these high cortisol levels disrupt immune balance on the other end, making the immune system go into this overreactive state and misfire, leading to patterns of autoimmunity, where the immune system starts then to attack different body tissues. So you can see that when cortisol's not in balance, in that bad state, there's a fair amount of that bad attached to it. So while cortisol is definitely an important and powerfully beneficial anti-inflammatory hormone when things are good, when it gets out of balance, it really can wreak havoc. Now, I've found over many years working with both humans and dogs together that some of the best ways to help regulate cortisol levels is through the use of herbs, particularly those in the adaptogenic class. Now, herbs in this class of adaptogenic herbs help the body cope and adapt to stresses, whether that's physical stress, emotional, or mental. Now, along with using herbs to support your dog's nervous system, this combination works really well. Herbs such as ashwagandha, which I've talked about before, holy basil, rhodiola, skullcap, lavender, and rose hips, due to its high vitamin C content, are all really excellent ones to consider. And other nutrients that you want to consider here too, guys, are omega-3 fatty acids, magnesium, and phosphatidylserine and L-theanine. These two nutrients are both known to be really able to regulate your dog's cortisol levels back into balance. And also, just a tip, did you know the simple act of allowing your dog to sniff on a walk has a calming effect on this cortisol? Now, when your dog sniffs, they engage their olfactory system, which is directly linked to what's known as the limbic system in the brain, this part of the brain that regulates emotions. Now, this reduces the fight or flight response and shifts your dog's body into a more relaxed state, lowering down cortisol levels. So there you have both the good and the bad of this amazing hormone, guys. And how is your dog going in terms of their cortisol health? Do you have an anxious dog, or one that might be showing some of the symptoms that we've talked about of elevated cortisol in that bad place? If you do, I'd love to hear from you. Please comment below and tell me what your dog's experiences is and what you've done to maybe help them. And if you do need some help, guys, of course you can always reach out to me. My contact details are below, and I'm open for some bookings. Guys, I hope that you found this short video helpful. Of course, I could go into much more detail here of both the good and the bad, but that would constitute a very long video. But I hope that you found that this is beneficial content. If you did, guys, I'd love it if you could just give it a like and share this video out to YouTube for other dog owners like yourself who are looking for some sort of help. Anyway, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're safe. I hope you're well. And for those in Australia or Brisbane that have been further impacted by this cyclone, I hope that you're getting back on track. Big cleanup has been going on this last few days since it passed through. Anyway, take care, guys. I'm going to catch up with you next week in another video. But till then, stay safe. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.